Assalamu alaikum dear students, I am your teacher Saima Shazad. Today we will discuss two topics, adjective phrase and adjective clause. Our objectives of today's topics are learn the difference between phrase and clause, learn adjective phrases and adjective clauses, learn dependent and independent clauses, learn subordinate conjunctions. Here you are going to learn about the difference between a phrase and a clause. What is phrase? It is simply a group of words, not a complete or full sentence. It means it does not have a subject or a verb. For example, if I say, under the tree, do you get any idea what is happening under the tree? Not at all. So, a group of words which does not make a complete sense is called a phrase. Now, there are different types of phrases like prepositional phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, noun phrase, verb phrase. What is clause? It is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. A clause may form part of a sentence or it may be a complete sentence itself. It must have a subject and it must have a verb. There are two types of clauses. An independent clause is a complete sentence, whereas a dependent clause cannot stand by itself. It must be combined with an independent clause in order to make a complete sense. Phrases and clauses. Here you are going to learn more about phrases and clauses. A group of related words that does not contain a subject and verb and is used as a part of speech. A phrase acts collectively as a single part of speech and is usually a noun, adjective, or an adverb. A phrase cannot stand alone as a sentence. Clause. A group of words that contains a subject and a verb and is used as a part of sentence or a sentence by itself. It means clauses may be able to stand alone as a sentence. Here is an activity for you. You are going to identify that how many phrases are there or how many clauses are there. First two have already been done for you. Let's start with sentence 1. In my room. What is it? What is in my room? Or what is happening in my room? Did you get any idea? Did you get any sense from these three group of words? In my room? No. It is not giving you a complete sense. So it will be a phrase. Move to the next one. The cat went under the bed. What is it? What is the cat? It is the subject. What is went? It is a verb. The second form of verb, go. Under the bed. Is it giving you a complete sense? Yes, it is giving a complete sense, a complete thought. Who went under the bed? The cat went under the bed. So, it is a clause. Move to the next one. Until next week. Is it a phrase or is it a clause? By the way, here P stands for phrase and C stands for clause. What do you think? Until next week. Is it giving you a complete sense? Until next week, what? No, you are not getting a complete sense. So, it is a phrase, it is not a clause. Move to the next one. Quickly walking to the store. Who is quickly walking to the store? There is no subject. So, it will again a phrase. Yet they tried. What is they? It is a subject. What is tried? It is a verb. So, the last one, it will be a clause. Let's think about it. Sentence 1. A phrase is a group of related words that is used as a part of what? and does not contain both a dash and a dash. Second, a phrase dash stand alone as a sentence. It is an easy one, isn't it? A clause has both a dash and a dash. It is also an easy one. A clause dash stand alone as a sentence if it is an independent clause. Now let's move to the next slide where you can tally your answers over there. A phrase is a group of related words that is used as a part of speech and does not contain both a subject and a verb. A phrase cannot stand alone as a sentence. A clause has both a subject and a verb. A clause can stand alone as a sentence if it's an independent clause. Now here again we are going to learn more about clauses and its two types. As you already know that what is a clause? It is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. There are two types of clauses. The first one is the independent clause, expresses a complete thought and can stand by itself as a sentence. Whereas the dependent clause, it is also named as a subordinate clause. It does not express a complete thought and cannot stand by itself as a sentence. This is the main difference between the independent and the dependent clause. Types of clauses, independent clause and dependent clause. You are going to learn more about these type of clauses now. An independent clause, it is a group of related words that contains a subject and a verb and expresses a complete thought. Focus on these three examples. I picked a flower for you. What did I pick? I picked a flower. So this sentence is giving you a complete sense. So it is an independent clause. My mom is nice, or my mom is very pretty. Again, it is giving you a complete sense. So it is an independent clause. You don't need any other clause to complete it. The teacher taught me how to write. What did the teacher teach? The teacher taught me how to write, how to read. So again, it is giving you a complete sense. So all these three sentences are the examples of independent clauses. Let's move to the dependent clause. It contains a subject and a verb, but do not express a complete thought. And it starts with the subordinate conjunctions. You are going to learn about subordinate conjunctions in our next slide. Focused on these two sentences. The umbrella which has a broken handle is mine. Let's suppose if it is starting from which has a broken handle is mine. Do you get any idea of this sentence? No. It means that it needs another clause to make a complete sentence. So the umbrella which has broken handle is mine. Now the next one, God helps those who helps themselves. Who helps themselves? It is not making a complete sense. It does need another clause. That is, God helps those. Now here is the list of subordinate conjunctions while we use when we write a dependent clause. All the dependent clauses must start with any one of these subordinate conjunctions. After, although, as if, as though, because, before, etc., etc. There are so many subordinate conjunctions. Now let's wrap up all the concepts that we have learned so far. First of all, we did discuss about the phrases. Phrases contain either a noun or a verb or neither. They are not complete thoughts. They cannot stand alone. They act as another part of speech, like a noun, adjective, or an adverb. Now then we talk about the clause and the different the two types of clauses as well. What are independent clauses? It must have a noun and a verb, express a complete idea, and it can stand by itself as a sentence. Or in short words, you can say that any complete simple sentence is called an independent clause. Dependent clauses, they always start with a subordinate conjunctions. Here is the formula: noun plus verb plus subordinate conjunction and the rest of the clause. So any simple sentence that you add a subordinate conjunction to, it is a dependent clause. This is simple. This is the last activity. Again, it is about the phrases or clauses. Let's see how much you know, how much you have understood, like moving to the second sentence, against the wall. What is against the wall? Is it giving you a complete sense? No. So it will be a phrase. Tomorrow we will go. Is it making you a complete sentence? Yes, it is. Because what is we? It is a subject. What is will go? It is a future tense. It is a verb. So it will be a clause. Have gone running for an hour. Who have gone running for an hour? Does it make any sense? No, it is not making any sense. So it is a what? Is it a phrase or a clause? It is a phrase. I hope students you have well understood today's topics, which were phrases and clauses, the types of clauses, independent clauses and the dependent clauses, and the subordinating conjunctions. Allah Hafiz.